What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Moon Knighting, a GU reaction show for Marvel Studios' Moon Knight on Disney Plus. We are at episode 5, at the final stretch.
Penultimate.
Every time I hear that, I always want to know where does that term come from? Does anybody know? I always know that's the second to last episode, but is there an actual description?
I guess that would infer that the last episode is the ultimate, but I do not know the derivative of penultimate.
Yeah, I was just always curious about that.
It's like semi-final, but
yeah,
for episodes.
And usually it was, when it comes to Game of Thrones, was always the big episode of the season, leading into the finale, which would always more build up the next season. So they got a lot of stuff to do. This episode was pretty awesome, I thought. I know there might be kind of split opinions. This was The Asylum. I'm just going to read real quick what it says off Wikipedia. So the episode starts with hippopotamus-headed woman and the Egyptian goddess Taweret, who explains to Mark and Steven that they are dead at the psychiatric hospital, but are dead, but that the psychiatric hospital is kind of what makes them feel like they're kind of like normal, whatever. But they're actually on a boat sailing through Duat, that is the Egyptian afterlife. But then she yanks out their hearts and puts them on the scales of justice to determine whether they are to enter the fields of reeds, which is pretty much like paradise, or and if the heart's unbalanced, and okay, it's just kind of confusing. Basically, they got until their hearts get balanced, they got to go and balance them. So they kind of go into the whole past of Mark, and we go through basically doors and doors of his life, and what we come to find out, or what we see, is probably one of the darkest storylines in any Marvel story. And I mean, we're dealing with child abuse. We're dealing with very close to an attempted suicide. I mean, this is some deep stuff happening in this episode. And but first of all, I want to kind of go back to the hippo. I know earlier in the season, Ryan, you kind of were knocking the CGI on the jackals, but I think the CGI on the hippo is pretty amazing.
No, it looked good. I agree.
But so going into that, but we see a cafeteria full of the undead, or just basically everybody that Mark killed throughout.
The double dead.
Yeah, the double dead. Pretty creepy again. But I guess before we start hitting some of the main points of the show, what were you guys' initial reaction of this episode? Alex?
Called it. When we last visited, I know it was pretty broad, but I knew there had to be some sort of flashback to give us that sort of backstory of Mark, of Steven, what happened to, bring Steven into the picture. Moon, I mean, we got all of it, pretty much, all the backstory.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I was glad we got all that. But as you just said in the beginning, they've left a tall order for, as I read this week, what is going to be the shortest finale episode of all the MCU shows so far, clocking in at just about 40 minutes, including credits.
Wow.
So I don't know if they're leaving something for something that's coming up or what, but they got a lot of bows to tie real quick.
A lot of explaining to do. What about you, Ryan? What did you think about this episode?
It was okay. I'm not a fan of in the middle of a show or a movie going back to tell the origin story. I like it at the beginning of the show, so we can just move on, kind of like Boba Fett. It was a lot of this happened 5 years ago or whatever the timeline was. It wasn't accurate, but that's just how I like my shows. So I feel
Simple.
I just tell me what happened and now what's happening now. I don't like what's happening. Oh, let's go back. I feel like it's a waste of time.
But the way they did it, using the fact that they had died and all this kind of I don't know. I thought it was a little inventive rather than just saying like this is a flashback now.
Yeah, it was different. I just
Going through the
still
doors.
yeah.
And especially the fact that we were actually introduced to the show to Steven first, what turned out to be the made up character, the protector for Mark, basically, when he was a child.
Oh.
Very, very very different, very clever, very original, especially when it comes to the end. We find out that he was pretty much manifested to protect Mark through his pain as a child, and kind of protected him as the dead were attacking him on the boat. What were you going to say, Ryan? Sorry.
Okay, so Steven was created to absorb the abuse from his mom, right?
Pretty much. I think him and his brother he was a character from that show that they kind of looked up to and even tried to emulate when they were going off having adventures. So I think, at that point in his life, he had created the Stephen Grant identity after this character. I mean, I don't know if it was as much physically protect him from his mom, but emotionally protect Mark by having Steven there in his place.
In a way, like zone out too. Yeah.
So if Steven was the one to take the abuse, like from Mark, then why does Steven think his mom's so perfect if Steven's who Mark switched to when the beatings happened?
I mean, I don't know that Steven was taking the beatings as much as Mark was taking the beatings, but he didn't have to be there. I mean, it's kind of hard to say this is going into an dissociative identity disorder, which is a real thing. And that is another layer of this episode and how they kind of unfolded that. I haven't really dug deeper, and I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there is going to have some sort of interview or real life documentary about how it is for someone who actually deals with this. But I think from outside looking in, it's hard to say. Physically, I would assume both people are experiencing the abuse, but maybe for Steven was a way for Mark to forgive his mother and think about her lovingly. That was another thing I said on the last or earlier episodes, that his mom wasn't really there on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I apologize because I've been signing off on the show as Late Agatas. Totally got it wrong. It's Late Skatas. So
it's Skaters?
Yeah. And it was Mark the one that said it.
Didn't it come from that show as well or something?
I think it did. But yeah, it was a little thing between Mark and his mom when him and I forget the brother's name. Roro?
Yeah,
Randall,
Roro.
I think it was Randall, but she called him Roro.
Yeah, because that's what Mark said to her when they were leaving. And there's a lot, man. There is a lot of symbolism in every episode, because before they go in the cave, Steven sees the dead bird, which looks like Khonshu because it's all bones.
Yeah.
And then kind of goes back to where we're going to be jumping back and forth. I know a lot. So, but it goes back to where Mark actually runs into Khonshu and becomes Moon Knight, which was a awesome transformation, I thought. But I don't know. I was really intrigued though with the whole, what balancing of the hearts and and I actually like the way they did the flashbacks. Personally, it was really heartbreaking. Like I said, I mean, I heard the show was pretty, could be pretty brutal, and they're talking about, one of the most violent and stuff. But I think, but just the subject matter of this episode was really deep. So, and well done at the same time. So,
that was my first. I think I posed it to you guys in our group chat right after I finished watching. Is trying to think of other dark, saddening backstories from the MCU.
Yeah,
the first one that came to mind for me was Natasha Romanoff and her backstory. With the forced hysterectomy or whatever they call it, when you're basically making a woman sterile.
I think that's just what they just sterilizing. I think that's what it.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I apologize if I am.
No.
I know-
Also, could be
Yeah.
wrong. That's why we're here on YouTube, because we are
Yeah.
not professionals. But I think to me it's kind of a short backstory, but what's his name? Eric Killmonger, and him being left, after his dad was killed in Oakland,
Yeah.
just kind of away from his family, his heritage, things like that. I had talked with some friends at the bar about it, and they came up with some other good ones too. But do you guys think of any other ones?
Even what we find out in Civil War, the way Tony's parents were killed.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think about that.
Well, not just they thought it looked like just a car crash actually, but when he finds out that it was Bucky, I mean that was pretty brutal. Yeah,
I think my friends brought up the moment when Loki sees himself being killed in Loki too. I don't know. I'm not like trying to revel in all the darkest moments of the MCU, but after watching this episode, I was like, wow.
No, totally.
Where will they not go now?
Exactly. And this is on Disney Plus. And one thing I want to mention, because everybody's like, oh, Disney Plus, and it's weird, it's dark, but this is the second show where a character almost took themselves out. Gideon almost did it at season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, where he had the gun to his head until Cara Dune knocked it out of his hand.
And Baron Zemo at the end of Civil War.
Oh, that's right. So
the living aren't done with you yet.
I love that scene. And that was dark too. Zemo's whole backstory. So I mean,
well, yeah, just that moment between him and T'Challa,
Wanda.
where Wanda, of course, going to the house that
parents, brother, Vision, kids.
Was it Vision had bought that land or something? He's like a sentient robot. He's out here doing real estate.
He might have been. I wanted to. I know we're talking about Moon Knight, but I wanted to rewatch WandaVision before we got into Doctor Strange, but just not enough time. But
yeah, we'll see how much of it I can get into before Thursday. I might just wake up early with my fruity cereal and watch it like Saturday morning cartoons on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
No, I might have to watch What If before Doctor Strange. It sounds like it's going to play a big part.
Yeah, I think it is. So very cool. At least,
and of course, Doctor Strange.
Of course, and I know even Disney Plus has been doing this pretty good every time a new Marvel property is coming out. But they got the Marvel Legends, which are like little 7 to 10 minute, just little 101 on certain characters when something comes out. So they actually just released one on Doctor Strange, Wanda, and Wong. Haven't seen them yet.
All together as one? Or
No. Each one. Each character.
They already did a Wanda one before WandaVision too.
Well, yeah. So they actually
updated, or
they updated to Scarlet Witch. I'm sorry. I'm so used
to separate Wanda and Scarlet Witch one.
Yeah, so I'm used to calling her Wanda, but it's actually listed as Scarlet Witch. There's one on Wong.
As you said, we don't want to get too far off base, but
yeah,
I'm sure you can expect the three of us to be talking about that movie in depth. Maybe we'll do a half spoiler free and then half spoilery review of the movie.
Yeah, I was thinking because we got so much Star Wars content coming out this month, which is Star Wars month, and but we want to talk about Doctor Strange because something we're all here we go Star Wars month on a Marvel show. But we got Doctor Strange coming out, which we are all geeked for, and Ryan's upcoming Disney trip. So I think that'll be our next regular episode. Kind of not giving people so much Star Wars all at once, so we'll have nice Marvel. Maybe we'll tie in this Moon Knight finale too. So I kind of sticking with Moon Knight. We're again, if Oscar Isaac does not. People can say whatever they want about the show, whether they like it or not. But one thing is, we're getting some of the best acting in the MCU, in my opinion, from Oscar Isaac, portraying Mark, portraying Steven, Moon Knight, which we finally saw Moon Knight briefly, but for the first time in 2 episodes, I think.
I was thinking that we haven't seen him in a while.
And again, Ethan Hawke is killing it as Arthur Harrow too. And the doctor, I mean, I was like, he kind of looked like Ned Flanders, and then Steven actually called him Ned Flanders. So I was just like, Steven's definitely the Holland was with Spider-Man, the little pop culture references between Avatar, blue people, big. I like them.
Yeah. But remember that they're all things under the Disney umbrella now, man.
Yeah.
Ever since Age of Ultron playing Forgot No Strings.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've capitalized on every IP that is under their wing and they don't have to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. So where do you guys think we're going? Like I said, the episode kind of ends with the scales actually get balanced in a way, but then
that's after Steven.
Yeah, because he's fighting off.
Right.
He decides, he's like, I can do this. It's me. And so he starts fighting off really, brave. I'm just going to call them zombies because that's pretty much what they are. Then he gets pulled over and turns into a sand figure. And then right after that, we see Mark into what was it called again? The Fields of the Reeds.
Yeah. But it was almost that Steven was the thing keeping him from being balanced. And as we saw in the episode, that it was Mark Spector is the person. Stephen Grant is an identity within his head. And so I guess emotionally through his, whatever, his crossing over of his death, he shelled that persona. So it'll be interesting to see. I presume we will not see Stephen Grant again, although I wouldn't be shocked if we do.
Yeah, same.
It would be interesting to see. I would expect to see Mark take on traits of Stephen. But again, it's going to be a real short runway with a lot expected or wanted to find out about.
Yeah. And we haven't seen Layla in a while, which makes me sad because she cute. She's
Khonshu.
Or Khonshu.
I mean, there's a lot of layers. We've got Arthur Harrow has presumably resurrected
Ahmet,
because as we saw them on the boat, you saw all the those purple, basically people being shot down to the underworld being judged, and they say, "Oh,
yeah,
he's resurrected Ahmet." Presumably, we need to see Khonshu back because we would obviously love to see Moon Knight again, and assume that we're going to need him to get to where we need to be on the other side of this. We haven't seen Layla. We don't know if we'll see Steven again. If maybe there might be help from a certain vampire that rhymes with shade,
Raid.
Yeah.
Played.
So who knows? I mean, again, I expect the finale of Loki had me captivated the entire time. And just based on how much time is left, I expect this to do the same. I am not of the group that is hating the lack of Moon Knight. As you've said, I think Oscar Isaac has done an incredible job with the character, and to an extent has made me even forget about seeing Moon Knight, the hero, caped, masked character.
Yeah.
I've loved what I saw. The fights have been really cool, but really it is more about the character's journey, what got him to Moon Knight, and hopefully what's going to help him find peace and save the day, whether it be with or without that caped masked character.
And a question of both you guys is, Steven, because, watching on how Khonshu, quote unquote, saves Mark, turns him into Moon Knight. But he was saying like the whole time he was taking advantage of you. Do you think Khonshu was taking advantage of Mark? I mean, or were grounds laid for him to kind of like eventually grew Mark?
I feel like I've had that feeling the whole show, so I didn't think that was
like a big surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we saw, right, he didn't really have a choice. He was shot and about to die. And it was basically like, I'm gonna fix you, and you're gonna serve me. And I mean, I don't know many people who would not take that opportunity given the circumstances.
Yeah, and was one of those during the slaughter? Was one of those people Layla's dad? I thought I heard somebody mention it, but I wasn't completely sure. Okay.
I don't think we actually see him, but we see him on the ground, and he's like, "Oh no, is that?"
Yeah. Oh, because of the scarf.
Yeah.
Which is a scarf Layla had, or the. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Very cool. Very sad. Yeah, like you said, there's a lot they got to bring up in the final episode, which makes me think. I've been saying this for months, and not just with this show, but even with like Obi-Wan, because this is also listed as a limited series, and Obi-Wan, is listed as a limited series. But I've been saying I don't think limited series necessarily means one season. You can be like,
showed us that, although was Loki listed as I mean, they're all limited series when they start, right?
Yeah, and Loki's extra credit was season 2 coming, So, yeah, I still think. I mean, without any direct like predictions or whatever of what's going to happen in next week or this week's episode, the final finale. There's a reason why it's coming out the day before, 2 days before Doctor Strange, I think.
Yeah.
Marvel doesn't do anything on accident. So, and especially with the timing of
with 2 episodes, it started with 2, right?
Which one?
The Moon Knight. We had 2 in the first week, or no?
No, just 1.
Just Hawkeye. We got 2 at the first 2, I think.
Well, and they did that with WandaVision too.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna do it with Obi-Wan. Separate studio. But my theory with WandaVision was that they were afraid people wouldn't hold on long enough to get to the twist.
Yeah.
With this, I do think the timing lines up. I just don't see how it lines up story-wise.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not super versed in the comic background. I do know Doctor Strange is part of the Midnight Suns, and as well as Moon Knight. Blade, Black Knight, whatever. I'm geographically speaking, and I guess just thinking about what is actually happening right now.
Yeah,
trying to think of who might be there. I mean, it is I don't know. Would you call it cosmic or more spiritual? What's going on with Ahmet and the gods? Like that's kind of out of Doctor Strange's wheelhouse, right?
Well, I think it's almost connected to what was going on with like Agatha, and because a lot of Harrow's, a lot of the magic that he's portrayed has been purple.
Right.
Yeah.
The spirits of souls fallen have been purple, and when he was judging or trying to balance Steven, he specifically says there's chaos in you, which like I said, going to Marvel stuff, we WandaVision kind of, we knew it in the comics, but for the MCU was the first time they really brought up chaos magic. So I mean, like I said, I don't think anything's done on purpose or on accident. We're dealing with Egyptian gods. Boom, they dropped the Thor Love and Thunder trailer, which we know Gore the God Butcher is going to be in. We see Zeus in the trailer. So
yeah, I'm excited for all of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been on that part where this isn't what of the show. This isn't what I've like expected it to be. But at the same time, I've been enjoying the hell out of what they've given us. And
what did you expect it to be?
I don't know. I really had no idea.
See, I'm more I can't say I had zero expectations because it's Marvel, but not having a huge comic book background with Moon Knight,
yeah,
I kind of just came into it like, all right, I like Oscar Isaac, I like Ethan Hawke, I trust in Marvel and what they're going to do with it, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Conversely, things like Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, I have big expectations for those.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I think it would have been hard to disappoint me with Moon Knight. Based on where we're at with it, I also, because I think I've said before, it's, to me, I mean, I still appreciate it, and again, things will make more sense when you go back to it after the story is written a little further. But I'm more excited for things that push the Marvel Cinematic Universe forward. And thus far, it hasn't really pushed it forward at all. We're not even really sure where this is happening in the timeline, you know?
Yeah.
Are we?
I just
asked that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, I just know it is post split. That's all I know.
Right.
And that's just because, like, in the background, they had that the group that was in Falcon Winter Soldier that was like helping people after the blip.
Oh, right. The people who the No Borders or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
One of those posters or trucks was in the background of like the first or second episode, I think.
In Egypt or no, in England?
In London, yeah.
Okay.
Or England. I'm guessing they were London, but
yeah, the National Museum is probably in London.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's another one I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
And I always forget about the QR codes that have been popping up. So.
Are those at the end of the credits? Where are those?
They're in the show like Easter eggs.
Oh, like on something in the.
Yeah. So I believe right before you get on this episode, before you get into Haru's office, there's a picture before you get in, and there's a QR code on that picture, and you scan that, and you get a comic of whatever that episode is based on.
Interesting.
The only one I did see, and this is after I listened to a Marvel Tribe, I went and watched the episode again, but it was the episode where Steven goes to Mark's storage container, and right next to the storage container set whatever 47 or big old QX code, and seriously, you scan it, so they're in the shows. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's next level, man.
It is. It's pretty brilliant, actually.
We grew up watching TV. Now we're playing TV. We're interacting with TV.
Yeah, and so, like I said, for those who don't know, in each episode there's a QR code that you scan it, and you'll for the week of that episode until the next episode comes out, you get a digital comic of. Like the first episode was Moon Knight's first appearance in the comics. Then the second appearance. Then the other ones have been kind of based on the particular or specific comics. So the last two have dealt with the story run that takes place in the psych ward, obviously. So pretty cool.
In theory, is it the same QR code and they just change the comic each week? Like I can't go back and watch the first one and see the same comic, can I?
I do not know. That's a good question.
So some homework to do between now and tomorrow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I had no idea about it until David Blurred Holt from Marvel Tribe mentioned it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, I think the site only lasts a week. So yeah, I don't think you could go back even if you rewatch the old episode. I don't know if it'd be worth a try though.
And we'll check it out.
But where do you guys see this going to end for the season? Do you think this will be it for the show? Or do you think we might get another season surprise? Ryan, what do you think?
I really have no idea, because they could just end it going into Doctor Strange, or like leave a cliffhanger with like another character coming in, not Doctor Strange related.
So like a post-credit like character reveal maybe? Or?
Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay,
I have zero clue.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, so what the Moon Knight's first appearance was in Werewolf by Night, right?
Yeah.
And that is what we're getting as the Marvel Halloween special, Werewolf by Night special. They keep talking about different characters. I saw this week the news was that Man-Thing was going to be a part of that as well, which that'll be awesome. I mean, I know it's going to be CGI, but man, that would be cool if it was practical.
Yeah.
I mean, let Lucasfilm get over there, Creation Shop, whatnot. That's basically looks like a cross between like Swamp Thing and like Max Rebo or something. You know?
Yeah. So that'd be very cool.
But I don't know. I don't think it's going to solve everything that we were asking. All the unknowns. I hope that we get resolution with Arthur, Amit, and Moon Knight, but I could see that tying in. See, I don't see it tying into Thor. If anything, I see it as an introduction of Gore the God Butcher or something, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking to Doctor Strange past it right now. I'm stoked that we have both this week, but really, I'm excited for the big one that can't seem to get out of its own way, leaking stuff right now.
oh yeah.
The
I've
one
been
about the score,
of which one?
the score, or the track list for the score came out, and as you know, with score, generally the titles are just like what's happening at that moment.
Yeah.
So apparently, the score was spoiler filled.
Oh, for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I think it has since been removed, but obviously the internet's got it. They're getting lazy over there at Marvel.
So many spoilers.
Everything's going on right now, but
like I sent you guys that
they're
TV
off at their
spot.
summer camp planning the next 10 years.
Well, really quick. I think that's it for Moon Knight episode 5. We will either do episode 6 finale, or we might tie it in with our next actual regular podcast, talk about Doctor Strange's review. So yeah, so catch that for on that one. But yeah, we'll kind of continue real quick with a upcoming Doctor Strange, because that comes out just in a few short days. I know we're really excited. Real quick, Ryan, one thing I know, some people get kind of worried about track lists, and I don't know how accurate it is, because I know Michael Giacchino's doing the score again for Doctor Strange, I believe, and he's known to do a lot of his score or track titles or track list are usually sorry, Ryan, no pun intended, but they're puns. Most of his, if you look at Star Trek and even Spider-Man and stuff, every movie he's done, his track lists are usually just funny puns, except for Rogue One, because it was Star Wars. He had to do it seriously. So I don't know. It might have been him kind of playing a joke on people too, or you said they actually took it down, or
That's what I read. The article said that it had got posted, but it came down. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
For fear of seeing something I didn't want to see, I didn't really investigate further.
Yeah. And speaking of things we didn't want to see, Ryan's like, "Hey, did you guys see the new TV spot trailer?" And me and Alex are like, "Nope."
I heard that got pulled too.
It did?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I just thought another TV spot, whatever. I'm just scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
I won't. It's just like
wait.
It just showed things that I'm like, why would you? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
So close.
Yeah.
I think I know. I'm not going to say, but I heard it. We were watching a basketball game or something, and it popped up, and I'm like, I looked away, and I saw like a quick glimpse of something. I'm like, oh no, it's not something big, but I was just like, ah. But I looked away.
Unless they just have so much like insane stuff in this movie that's the spoilers I saw are like just like little sprinkles.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how fast the internet is going to have reaction videos. I mean, we're here on the West Coast. I'm pretty sure the earliest showings anywhere are 3:00, which makes me wonder if it's going on par with 6:00 Eastern. I mean, I think we'd said in the past in Europe and like Asia, they're doing it like the day before, right?
I think so, yeah.
But is that like the day before Thursday, or like we're doing it Thursday because it's there Friday?
No, I think that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I think the Thursday is just kind of, so the Thursday releases are the new midnight releases. You know what I mean?
I remember those. Those were fun.
Yeah, and so I think now that people, because some of those theaters started doing like, well, instead of midnight,
they just didn't want to be there at like 1 to 2 a.m. cleaning up theaters.
And
so I think, come on, guys, can we just release it at 6 p.m. the night before?
And I think that's what they're doing. They have limited showings the night before.
Yeah.
And to kind of, and now that you can select your own seat, because it was like midnight showing, mad scramble, rope drop. It was like rope drop.
I mean, I remember they would keep adding them and adding them. They had shows going until 2 a.m. That means staff is there till like 4:35 cleaning up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for last Jedi, they had like, I was at a 7, a 10, a 2, and a 5.
Yeah.
You went to all 4 of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I had like different, I know. I had different groups of people that wanted to go, and then they were different cities, so it was like, yeah. But
So you drove to different cities to see
So
it
our
all?
cities are close. It's like
Oh,
a
okay.
15-minute drive. So
Different towns.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
remember
no, I mean, this will be a first for me seeing a movie twice in one day, so we'll see.
I think I did
Again,
that with.
we're full on the Doctor Strange tangent at this point. I'm thinking of runtime and stuff. Do you know what the runtime's like?
let me check. I have it pulled up
I
on
can
my.
check it, but yeah, I was
It's,
kind of going back to like I remember doing Midnight showed the prequel trilogy, Pirates of the Caribbean, and yeah, those are good. The good days.
it's a 206 runtime, so very short Marvel
It is
movie.
very short.
Well, yeah, compared to Spider-Man and
Endgame
the
and
Avengers,
Infinity War, and
Well, they did see the
Eternals.
first 20 minutes at CinemaCon, and I'm pretty sure from the non-real description, it was pretty action-packed. Like
yeah,
multiple fights and action scenes in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. Yeah, let's go.
So
Moon Knight.
I wonder if like we're going to get a little like different view of some of the stuff that was happening during Spider-Man. Kind of like an expanded edition. You know.
yeah, we did in Morbius, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they do it twice, but
Well, not everybody saw Morbius, so
that's true.
so yeah, can't wait. So yeah, we're definitely.
I hope at the least we get a post credits at the end of Moon Knight because we haven't got a, WandaVision we got post credits on the last 3 episodes. I'm pretty sure every other Marvel show has had some sort of post credits, as little as Loki will return in season 2.
Yeah, and Loki and Moon Knight's first set of credits, the graphics have been pretty much storytelling too.
True.
In a way, so that's just a lot of homework to do.
Well, WandaVision had a ton of stuff from the different intro theme songs to they dialed it all the way into her tone in previously on WandaVision.
Yeah. That's true.
That was pretty detailed. So yeah, we'll see. I'm pumped. I'm ready. I hope you guys are pumped and ready too.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. At the end for the finale of Moon Knight, because like I said, I've enjoyed this show. This show's been it's like I said, I don't say I didn't have expectations, but I was excited for it. Like you said, mainly for Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, just more Marvel. And but I've enjoyed what we've seen. Like I said, it's probably some of the best acting out of any of the MCU so far, and that's saying a lot because I think Elizabeth Olsen did great in WandaVision. Robert Downey Jr.'s done great the entire time as Tony Stark.
I still think he should have got nominated for Endgame.
Yeah, even Chris Hemsworth. I mean, the way his character has morphed too, from completely Shakespearean to just funny beefcake, But it's done. Everything's been done well. So, no, I really enjoyed the show. I'd like to see where it's going. If we don't get any more Moon Knight TV, I'm sure we'll see him in the future. So, and of course, Doctor Strange. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So,
hopefully, we get a little sling ring action in the post credits.
Yes,
Mark Spector, I need you to come with me.
I still kind of want to see Christian Bale, but I don't think he's. I'm not doing after credit scene on a TV show. That's not bad.
What's Christian Bale going to be again? He's in Guardians, right?
He's Gore in Thor.
The God Betrayer.
Gore and Thor.
So Gore and Thor, yeah. But cool, you guys. So definitely be on the lookout for not only our season finale episode for Moon Knighting. We will be doing a spoiler-free review of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, along with a little what's coming up in Ryan's upcoming trip to Disneyland. Say hi to Scarlet Witch for me. Give her a hug.
And America Chavez.
And a squeeze.
And America Chavez, yeah. That's sweet. What'd you say?
A hug and a squeeze.
Oh, yeah, so you can do that
Mr.
now.
Knight, too. I mean,
yeah,
they've got a nice stable down there at Avengers Campus now.
Yeah, and they're coming down now. Mike, good friend Mike. What up, Mike? 8420. I believe his better half, Jeressa, got a picture with Mr. Knight. So, And little Mikey had a nice little interaction with Darth Maul. I don't know if you guys saw that on Instagram, but pretty awesome. So
Darth Maul?
Oh, not Darth Maul. Kylo Ren.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm looking at my Darth Maul piece of art here. So
it's all good. I was like, damn, I didn't know he was in the park.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
So little quick little shout out. Little Mikey was dressed up like Kylo Ren, and Kylo brought him up and was like, "Welcome to the dark side," and all this stuff. So very cool. So he's the son of darkness. Sorry, Ryan.
That's okay. I accept my defeat.
Right on. Well, we see you guys real soon. Man, and so coming up right after Moon Knighting is Obi-Wan Kenobi, our breakdown on Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think the first episode, I mean, we haven't really talked about it yet, but I mean, we're getting 3 episodes within 1 week, so we might just do a uber big episode for the first one, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll have a podcast episode soon. We're going to have Star Wars Month on YouTube coming out real soon, and maybe on May the 4th, so which is just a few days away. And yeah, thank you guys for joining in, and feel free to interact with us.
Peace.
Goodbye now.